what I like to tell writers that I've never pitched with before is don't think of it as anything other than a conversation. That you're going in to tell a story, and writers love to tell stories. They love to write. This is just a verbal version. Not all writers are great at pitching. Nobody's great at everything. So a good producer can be helpful. They can recognize where the strengths and weaknesses are of the person they're taking out. On Young Guns, for example, our writer is an academic. He lives on the East Coast in Northampton, and very intense, very cerebral guy. I would say he's shy. I think that's the best word for it. But yet he's pitching Young Guns, which is hot people on horseback with lots of action in the Old West. He's an expert in the era. So, and he's written a number of books about, Billy the Kid and all of that stuff and settling the Old West. And so it's really very much a give and take, and you do not go out and pitch until you're ready, until the writer feels that he or she has the confidence, that they're ready to go. But it isn't about being on camera. It isn't about saying lines. It's about really focusing on the narrative. This is the story I want to tell, and this is how I see it. And if the producer has done the job correctly, that's all the writer has to focus on, because all the other questions were answered in the lead up to the pitch. Otherwise, you wouldn't bring the pitch to that particular entity. Do you want to do a Western? You don't want to take a Western pitch out if the buyer goes, we're not doing period. No way. Why would you bring, you don't want to set your writer up for failure. So yeah, a lot of that is the research and the work leading up to all the legwork leading up to the actual pitch. That's my favorite part, is getting in the room. That's what they call pitching, is getting in the room. Because I was a kid who grew up, with my dad used to tell me stories at night, as a kid. And I love that feeling of the immediacy of being in the room, gauging how the buyer is responding. That's called reading the room. Harder to do on Zoom, but still, you can do it. And you can often kind of vibe off of their response. If you see that their foot is tapping and that means they're getting bored, and so you can cue the writer. Yeah. So you have that immediacy. I just love getting out there and telling the stories, or letting the writer tell the stories, and then seeing how people react.